We want to thank our amazing sponsor, the rope drop queen herself, Michelle McKnight. She is a destination specialist with TouringPlans and can help you plan an amazing vacation. Whether it's Disney, Universal, a cruise, or an all-inclusive, she can help you with booking, planning, and strategizing to help you have an incredible experience at a great rate. Contact her today at michelle@touringplans.com. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Disney. And Doug, we have to record this a pinch early because you're getting on a flight, and next week we'll be discussing the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
That's right. We'll be celebrating there in person. I will be. I'm sad you won't be with me, Derek. I am.
I'm missing out. Someone has to stay here and edit these shows and edit things, make you look good. So be sure to get on Rope Drop Radio, all the things, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow along as Doug shares some pictures and all sorts of fun things. And then we'll have some bonus content. And of course, next week will be our 50th anniversary special. So a lot of fun things coming on Rope Drop Radio. You excited,
I'm excited.
Doug?
I'm going to eat at so many new, I'm using air quotes around new, because it's just kind of revamped, reopened, and then some actual new that we've been waiting for a long time, that you might need to edit out about 10 pounds. Yeah,
okay, I will do my best. Well, speaking of food, this show this week should be getting you prepared as we talk about some of our favorite dishes. But before we discuss that, we need to give a shout out to two longtime Patreons, two ladies I have had the privilege of meeting in the parks, Elizabeth Lejeune, who I guess we always say that not Cajun enough, and then Christina Hawkins. So thank you ladies so much for supporting Rope Drop Radio for the years. Love when you wear Rope Drop Radio gear, and we see you out there and hopefully run into you in the parks again soon.
She's yelling at her headphones
I know.
or whatever,
Absolutely.
wherever she's listening. Elizabeth is, because we can't say it right. We're sorry. We're not Cajun. All right. So Apple Podcast reviews. Let's talk about it here. We got more in. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. It really raises our spirits. All right. So here's one we're reading today. It's informative and entertaining. 5 stars by Sarah RVA. Rava, I think is how that would be pronounced. Ra. Okay, anyway. I enjoy listening to Derek and Doug talk about all things Disney and look forward to a new podcast in my feed every week. They are knowledgeable about Disney parks and cruise line and entertaining at the same time. I love the episodes with Michelle too. If you are planning a Disney vacation or just want to stay in the Disney state of mind, give this podcast a listen. Sarah from Virginia. Oh, that's it. Sarah. Her
there you go,
last
Sarah.
name's R, and then VA for Virginia. Now it all comes.
Makes sense.
It's like a detective work. That's a great review.
I like it. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm betting Michelle will be on next week for the 50th, or at least for some bonus stuff. So be sure to tune into that. But this week, we need to jump right into food because I'm hungry, and we are talking about our favorite dishes at Walt Disney World and Universal, and we're going to cover counter service and table service. This is our favorite dishes, for the record, and we're not doing this alone. No, we are bringing in a very special Disney fanatic to join us, Mr. Jon Self. Welcome to Rope Drop Radio.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Hey, John, why don't we start with you giving the rope droppers just a little bit of your Disney and Universal background?
First, let me just say that I listen. I'm a listener, so that's going to work against you in this podcast. So I apologize for that. Yeah, that's a bad thing. And I've listened to some really excellent guests you've had. Lynn Testa, Seth, Alex, the Dillos, all these people. And you made it so far down on the list that you got to me, and I felt so honored to do that. So thank you for that. Let me just give you some background. My true Disney experience started when I met the woman that God gave me that I'm married to. We planned our honeymoon. I was working as a tennis teaching professional in Massachusetts, and she grew up in upstate New York, where she was so close she could see Canada for Derek's beloved world. So
yes!
It was one of those places. And she would tell me stories of her senior trip of going to Orlando, and it didn't turn out so well. And so I wanted to be a good husband, at least start my marriage off right before I screwed up for the next 20-something years. So I planned a budget for us to go to Orlando, and we went, and We've been going to Walt Disney World so long. I'm so old. I remember when Walt Disney World annual passes were less than $300 for out of state.
Ooh,
and there were 4 parks even then. So just so you know. I made a career choice that if you follow me on Twitter is pretty easy to figure out. So we kind of stopped making trips because quite frankly, we couldn't afford it. But then all of a sudden, I had this weird thing. I had full-time jobs and vacation. So guess what we did? We went to Orlando. And we went there often. And I spent so much time being there that all of a sudden I started chatting with theme park media people, and they were foolish enough to let me start writing for them. And I pretty much have been doing that ever since at Universal Orlando and Disney World since then. But I mostly write about food and Universal Orlando. But do not worry, Rope Drop fans. I know my Walt Disney World. I know the pain of 7 a.m. Rise of the Resistance boarding passes. Yes, we've missed those. I got mine last time at 7 a.m. from Cabana Bay Beach Resort, and I had to take an Uber over there really quickly because I got boarding group 7 and had to make it all the way over there. And just so you know, I even wrote an article for some other site about what you're supposed to do now that boarding passes are gone for Rise of Resistance. So we will see how this Disney Universal food thing goes.
All right. Yeah, big news, Doug. You're going to have to back to rope dropping.
But TouringPlans did a test. Was it yesterday? They sent some poor soul, and they were Rise of Resistance at least 8 times yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, I could do that.
That's a lot of times.
Perfect.
That's a lot of times. I'm not sure I could do that.
But if you're getting paid, for the record, if anyone wants to hire Derek or Doug or John to sit there and ride a ride over and over and get paid for it, we volunteers tribute.
Record data on
Lynn,
how long
absolutely.
Did you hear, Lynn, are you listening, Lynn? Okay.
There you go.
I'll make sure he does. I'll make sure he listens.
Sounds good. Well, Doug, why don't you explain what we're doing today?
Yeah, I concocted an idea, and whenever I do that, it usually goes off the rails about halfway through. But here's what our goal is. We're going to give you guys our favorite dish at every counter service and table service. Well, not every park, at one counter service and one table service. Man, that'd be a long show if we did every restaurant that way. Gonna have to bump up the data this week, Derek. No. So we're gonna go park by park, and then we're gonna do Disney Springs, and then we're gonna get into Universal. So make sure you stick around for all of it because it's gonna be our favorite. So not necessarily the best dish or the best dish for you, but what we like. And hopefully we don't all like the same thing at every restaurant and every park. I'm
really interested, actually. When I was going through my list, I'm like, I wonder which one's Doug. I think you have maybe 3. We have 3 of the similar ones.
I've listened enough that I have some backup plans, so I think we're going to be okay.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, you get to go first, John. You are the guest.
I get to go first?
Yep.
You get to go first. And if we have the same stuff, that's okay.
I'm going to have some
it's really good
along the way. Okay.
That's not a problem. There's no such thing as a wrong choice of your favorite. It's your favorite. So Animal Kingdom, let's start off with counter service, and we'll all go around, do our counter service, then do our table service. John, where are you eating? What you getting?
Oh, you got to see this coming. I am going to Thule Canteen to get the cheeseburger pods because one of my rules is, because I spend so much more time at Universal, I don't get anything at Disney that I can get equal value over at Universal or the same thing. They don't have the pods at Aventura anymore. At the Bar 17 that I'm staying at next week, and they're gone. So I want my cheeseburger pod from Santulli Canteen.
Nice.
And I have confirmed there are pickles in that.
Okay. Yeah, I told him. I told him the other week. He just rolled his eyes like a 13-year-old would. And,
but in fairness, I don't like pickles, so I can barely taste them. So it's okay. We'll cut him a break.
Okay. Maybe he'll just import some pickles.
I need to try those sometime.
It's so hard for me to try them because, probably what's coming next on your list, Derek.
Santulli Canteen. Same thing, but I'm going the beef, potatoes, and the green onion sauce. That's my mixture that I love. I have tried the noodles, but nope, the potatoes are the way to go.
Potatoes.
Yep.
Beef and what sauce?
The green sauce.
Okay. Yep. Very nice. Very nice. So I'm same place. I'm going with the noodles, chicken, and creamy herb. So that's mine. I was a rice person, but I've recently switched over to the noodles. I don't know why, but I did. And I love the pods, but I really like the bowl. if we eat there twice on one trip, I'll get the pots the second time.
Yeah, the bowls review really well, but in my world, we have that at Aventura at the hotel. We have a comparable thing for about the same price. So the pods win in my world.
That makes sense. Get what you can't get, right?
Yep.
Explore something a little bit. And as always with my meal, I'm always getting a Diet Coke. Just, no spoilers there.
And to mention, according to my research, and it's Walt Disney World, so it changes week to week, you get free drink refills while you're there at Satu'li Canteen. And that's important for those of us who have diet soda addictions. Yes,
it's very important. I got to get my caffeine that way. I don't get it at Starbucks. I get it at the refillable station. That is a good point. The places with that, step above.
Yeah, all right, let's go. I think Restaurantosaurus does that too, but that's the only reason to go there.
Other than Derek loves buckets.
Love buckets.
They have a recycling bin just for buckets now. Have you seen that?
That's a sign you don't need the buckets. All right. Moving on. Table service. As far as individual dishes go here, it's not that many options, is it?
I struggled with this one, and mine comes down to the fact that when in doubt, Tex-Mex or Asian cuisine wins. So I'm going to Yak and Yeti for the Malaysian seafood curry because I worked in Malaysia for a while.
Okay.
So that's why it's not bad. It's a little pricier than I'd prefer, but it's good.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to Yak and Yeti as well. I love that restaurant. We got the Landry's card and everything. So I'm actually going to go with the teriyaki chicken. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite thing I've ever had there. My favorite thing was on a special, and I had to look it up the menu, and they don't have it anymore. So it was a teriyaki steak glazed over rice with vegetables.
Yeah, that reviewed really well. I don't know why that's gone.
I know. It just disappeared one day. So I will put that as the teriyaki chicken as a backup.
Okay. So I thought somebody would go Tiffin's, but evidently we're not that fancy, are we?
Nope.
We just like food that tastes good. It doesn't need to be crazy expensive and pretty. Because I'm also going Yak and Yeti, and I'm a very simple person. I'm just going sweet and sour chicken. The pineapple. Oh my gosh, the dessert. Why is my brain not working? The pineapple dessert.
I know what you're talking about, but
I can't think of the name.
My Landry gift cards usually don't extend to dessert. I've seen it, I've just not had it.
See, that whole the Landry's thing, it works good. It's a great discount.
Yeah,
right?
Remember, I'm paying for college these days. I have to bear that in mind.
Yeah, I got that coming. I got one turn 16.
I didn't mean to break that bad news to you. I'm sorry.
Oof. So yeah, Yak and Yetis I think wins. I think I started with Animal Kingdom because I thought it would be the least varied. Because I didn't think anybody was
varied at all.
Pizzafari.
That's hilarious.
And get the cheeseburger flatbread at Pizzafari.
I did consider going with the Yak and Yeti local food for their breakfast bowl because breakfast is kind of tricky at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it is.
But I missed the pods at Universal. I've already discussed with food and beverage with them this week actually that I missed those, and so I had to go with cheeseburger.
All right, shall we head over to the studios? Lots of different options for counter service at the studios. Lots of different kind of snack/counter service.
This was the easiest one out of all of them for me.
Now I'm real curious. All right, John, what are you
curious that I'm going to match, but this is easy for me. I'm a Ronto wrap guy. I don't even care which one. It could be the vegetarian. It could be breakfast. It can be the full meat one. I'm a Ronto wrap guy.
That's a great choice. It is. There's lots of things here.
But I suspect you guys are going to the other Galaxy's Edge restaurant.
I am. I'm heading over to Docking Bay 7. Yep, I'm going to get the pot roast. I've had that like 5 or 6 times now. It's amazing every time. It's way too expensive every time. Yes. I regret it because it's now $18. It keeps going up $1 every time I go.
You need to stop going so it stops going up in
that
price.
Might be. I take that. I did like how John threw a breakfast one in there. I did throw a quick breakfast. I put in a Woody's Lunchbox breakfast bowl if you're looking for a good breakfast option.
That's not a bad choice. Yeah.
I love the breakfast Ronto wrap. That's my favorite Ronto wrap. And yeah, I'm not a huge Docking Bay 7 fan. I think so. My favorite service meal, and this is a new menu item that I just had back in April for the first time at ABC Commissary, which if you've listened for years, you know I dog on ABC Commissary.
I think you're going to pick my backup one. Let's see.
Yeah, we're going with the grilled cheese, with the buffalo chicken grilled cheese. I forgot who I was talking to. Yeah, my wife gets the tacos. I get the grilled cheese.
The shrimp tacos at ABC Commissary, shockingly enough, I'll give you a hint. In my blogging world, Monday is National Taco Day. Guess what I might be writing about?
Shrimp tacos.
The shrimp tacos.
That ABC, they finally got a menu that works.
Yeah, they really, but you know that they may not stay with it. I know we're digressing from our objective here. They change that menu like it's an experiment and then send it somewhere else.
In a couple months, it's going to be burgers and chicken nuggets. But let's hope it doesn't. I like the uniqueness, and it's the buffalo sauce actually has some kick to it. It's not totally bland, because there's times I can't handle really spicy stuff. My nose will start to run, and that's issues. But so it doesn't make my nose run. It's not that spicy, but it is just spicy enough that you know it's there with the buffalo sauce.
And don't forget, you get free drink refills at ABC Commissary.
Once again, it's a good point. And all right. So that's counter service at Hollywood Studios. Now it's time for table service. John, where are you headed?
Okay, first, here's my disclaimer. You may hear this again at another park. I think the unofficial guide has this quote, so I want to give Lynn and group credit for this. One of the most horrible things, it's on TouringPlans website. One of the most horrible things is to be hungry at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, that was before all the good counter service went in. Table service is good there, but it's way overpriced. So my best choice is Hollywood Brown Derby, the filet mignon steak Diane.
So you're just going all in price.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I have a backup for the mushroom risotto there, which is about half the price. But if you're going to pick something there and you're going to, rather than going to Sci-Fi Diner and spending $22 for a burger, or 50's Primetime for spending $20 for decent food. Yeah.
You might be insulting us for next, though. We got to go after you. Yeah.
I don't look at budgets, so money. What's that?
I'm looking at you said my favorite, so I did. I am going to 50's Prime, and I'm getting Mama's favorite trio because it's three amazing things: the fried chicken, the pot roast, and the meatloaf. Caveat, I don't like meatloaf, and I really like 50's Prime meatloaf. It doesn't make sense in my brain, but I really enjoy that dish, and it's, for me, I feel like you get what you pay for on that one.
Right. See, that loses in my world because there's a comparable option to Universal for less. That's why. But I can respect that choice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm respectable.
All right.
Sorry. Not that you needed my respect.
So, no, it's okay. I feel good now. Feel better.
So I'm gonna stay at 50's Primetime, and I would love to get a chicken pot pie, but it died with the pandemic, so it's no longer a chicken pot pie. But I do really like the fried chicken, and
it's so good.
It's moist like it's supposed to be. You can't touch anything with your fingers as you're eating it because there's enough grease dripping off of them. So it's a good thing you have to put your phones away or you get yelled at, right? Otherwise you get your screen all greasy from the chicken. So that's how you know it's good, when you can't touch anything. You need like 7 napkins and either that or a knife and a fork, which is fried chicken. You just dive in. So that's my choice. Just simple fried chicken while my children get yelled at to eat their vegetables.
Oh, I did not think of that. See, this is the difference. I'm past that stage.
Oh no, kids getting yelled at are great. Oh,
yeah. See, let me take back anything bad I said about 50's at all. I now see the entire appeal for you guys. My bad.
Yeah, it's the whole package, and what's fun is to take people that have never been, and you don't warn them until it happens.
No, take your international UK visitors because they really enjoy being picked on.
Do they?
Oh, it's enjoyable if you never want to speak to them again.
I'll remember that.
Oh, do not do that to UK.
Unless I'm trying to, shed a friend. burn a bridge.
You're trying to shed a friend. And
Sometimes you need that information.
Mm-hmm.
How will this person never go out to eat with me again? I know just the place. All right. So that's Hollywood Studios. We're halfway through the parks, and now on to the kind of the big one. Lots of options here. Epcot. And this was hard because I kept thinking of food and wine offerings, and it made it tricky. So we'll start counter service, quick service, whatever we want to call it, at Epcot, John.
I'm going to get hated by my Wizarding World fans, but here is my choice. I'm going with the Yorkshire County Fish Shop Fish and Chips because of that gigantic. I'm not saying it's great, but it's a gigantic piece of fish, and my UK friends listening to this are going to be horrified. The chips, they're not really chips. The chips that are in there are actually pretty good and are decent with the malt vinegar to go with the whole thing.
That's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
But I had the same problem. I was like, why would I go to counter service? It's what food festival is going on at the moment.
Exactly.
I hardly ever eat counter service at Epcot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised if you guys picked a food and wine offering. That's consistent,
I do have a backup if you guys don't get to it that we probably should mention again.
We'll add it as a fourth after here, maybe.
Well, I'm going to the American Pavilion. I love barbecue lover, and I am getting the Regal Eagle Texas brisket sandwich. Good brisket, barbecue sauce on 2 pieces of Texas toast, and you will be full, absolutely full after that.
Fair.
Yeah.
To be able to drink more around the world. It works.
So when Derek, just so the listeners know, when I first went to Regal Eagle with Derek smokes stuff regularly. He's cooks.
Well, that could be taken bad, but yes, barbecue.
Smokes. Yeah, I was going to say, just to clarify our
he smokes meat all the time. So he's sitting there like doing a pull test and some other tests and like poking and prodding. I'm already dripping in barbecue sauce, and he's still like examining the brisket and things like that. I had like pork butt hanging out of my mouth at that point.
I'm proud of you, Derek. I know you didn't need me to be proud of you again, but I am. I went to seminary in Texas, so I totally respect the barbecue thing.
Yeah, it's the real deal. He does. He was impressed, and so when Derek was impressed, then I knew I was allowed to enjoy what I was tasting. So.
I'm a little worried now with one of my choices coming up later, but you can make fun of me at that point.
So I was gonna say Regal Eagle, but I also had a 1A, 1B sort of situation, and I think Derek, you covered it well. So I'm gonna go with my 1B, and it's the Hawaiian pork slider at the Hawaii booth during Food and Wine.
Oh, that's
something
so
about
good.
that sandwich and the sauce they have on it, and it just really is one of my favorites, and I could eat that all the time, and I wish it was year round.
Yeah, every review I've read of that, it doesn't make sense that the parts equal the sum of that dish, but it does.
It's one of my favorites, far and away. I believe there's a pickle in there. That's 90% of it. But I really enjoy that, and that's at the Hawaii booth that they've had the last few years, and so I'm hoping maybe, I don't know, there's so much food to eat on this 50th trip. I don't know what all I'm going to be allowed to eat. I have to follow the leader some. So, John, what's your backup?
I cannot say it because I took Spanish instead of French, but the French bakery that has the sandwiches and the baguettes and the baguettes that are so gigantic that are only like $2.50 or $3 for the baguette. If you get there early in the morning, if you're trying to get to, well, I guess you can't rope drop Remy's. If you try to sneak in a rope drop Remy's, that would be the easiest way to do it. You can just pick up something and go from there. But those sandwiches, the bread is fabulous. I don't know what illegal substances they're putting in there, but it's good.
It's hard to say what they're using for flour, obviously. Yep. Some white concoction.
Exactly. That's all we're saying.
I'm pretty confident mine could change after this trip with the crepes. Because there's some savory
and
crepes.
Space 220 coming out. Like you're getting,
Just to prep you, you mean the galettes?
Yes, the galettes.
Because that's what's confusing people. Crepes are sweet, galettes are savory with the buckwheat, and people are expecting that more sweet, and they're really not matching.
No, you get the ham and cheese one, and then you also get your Nutella and banana. That's the combo. That's what I'm looking forward to, having both of those. They're simple. They're classic. They're the everyman's type of take. Nothing too crazy, but ham and cheese. I'm really looking forward to that. So it could change things. And then Space 220, we'll go into our next category, table service. John, where you?
I already know
down?
mine's going to be Space 220 as soon as that comes out.
Oh,
I already know it. I'm not putting it down, but I know it.
Make sure you go for lunch if you don't need dessert. Of course, you've seen the price difference between lunch and dinner.
We got dinner ADRs in November, so.
Well, then I don't feel bad for the choice I'm about to make of something I can rarely afford. TouringPlans will tell you that the food in Epcot restaurants table service tends to be overpriced, and I'm going to pick one of those places, Le Cellier Steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
I would go with, since I'm just spending more money I don't have, I would combine the Canadian cheddar cheese soup with the Le Cellier filet mignon,
which is $59 because I wrote that down too.
Right, I know that because I have that big price there. I'm like, are you sure you're going with this? Because that's the difference.
It's got the truffle butter sauce and it's phenomenal. I love. Yep. Okay. Same Z's.
Yeah. That's good. Good choice.
And if you've been listening, you know that tells you that I think that's better than the best steak option over at Universal.
Ooh, there we go.
That's something to say.
I love that filet. Yep, I'm right there.
Considering the palm exists at the Universal and Hard Rock, but that's a different discussion.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm a little simpler. I'm going to Tepan and just getting chicken because I really like the mixture of flavors, the rice, noodles, all of that. A little bit of the show probably impacts the taste, but I really like that style of food, the different sauces you can use. It's not a steak, no. And I don't get the steak there either. I don't get the shrimp. I just get chicken. I stick to my white meat, like the doctor says, but
I hear it's good for you.
That's what they say, but it's not nearly. I feel like I'm letting everyone down after your fillet. I really am hungry for steak now. I'm disappointed in my decisions.
Saying it out loud because my meal I just created was like $72 before tip and tax. So
it's whatever your favorite is.
Imaginary podcast money.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So table service went pretty quickly there. Derek, I really expect you to just say Garden Grill and be like, everything.
And I had Garden Grill written, and then it was favorite dish. So yeah, Garden Grill, the beef, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, but it's a family style. So once I really thought about it, it's not a dish. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I love Le Cellier, and that's
a good choice
in Canada.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was trying to suck up to Derek with my call, but still, with being Canada.
Great minds think alike, and we had the same dish.
All right. Well, that leaves us with one more park, the Magic Kingdom. Counter service at the Magic Kingdom.
Hardest one. No.
Some say,
oh my God.
No, Derek's not a fan. All right, John, what are you getting in the Magic Kingdom?
Did I mention there was another park that you don't want to be hungry in? That's Magic Kingdom. Now, there are some incredible snacks, but that was not what I was given a choice on. These are entrees. And I tend to recommend people to sneak off to the monorail resorts to take their break rather than the Doug nap to take their breaks.
You eat and nap when you leave the Magic Kingdom.
Not everybody is as skilled at rope dropping and lunch and then nap as you are. Sorry.
So I know. It's a special skill.
I have to be realistic. And I struggled with entrees, so I am cheating and going with the trio platter at Columbia Harbor House because I am a sucker for hush puppies. It's the fried shrimp, chicken strips, and battered fish. None of it is fabulous, but it's only $14, and I get hush puppies.
It's a really good meal. That's my go-to at Columbia. Their fish is decent. It's not Yorkshire.
It's not Yorkshire.
But there's several pieces. And it's really good. The hush puppies are really good, and those are underrated. People forget about that. And I know a lot of people talk lobster roll there, but you said what's right.
Hold on. Just so we're clear, let me pull my food blogger hat on. Someone who used to live in New England area, do not get the lobster roll. That's just mayonnaise, okay? Just so we're clear.
Good to know.
Okay.
With some lobster substrate.
I'll be quiet. I'll go back to being the guest.
Well, I'm not going to Columbia
Cosmic
Harbor
Race?
House. No, not going there either. I'm going to
Pinocchio's?
Pecos Bill.
Okay, all right.
Let's see if you pick my backup.
Honestly, it's comfort food. My kids will eat there. And so I toss between two because I either do the fajita platter or the taco trio. I'll go with the fajita platter for this show because I do like the beans. I like mixing it myself and eating that. And I feel like for the value, I get what I need at Pecos Bill to fill me up and to keep going in the parks. But I hate counter service at the Magic Kingdom. Unless you go to Gaston's to get a cinnamon roll. And I'm out.
Just so we're clear, I have the nachos written down as a backup at Pecos Bill and an honorable mention for the Gaston cinnamon roll.
They're nice. Yes.
Yeah. Oh. You guys have already taken my two favorite things.
I'm sorry.
The plat. No, it's they're good. And then
the unlimited
fajita
toppings
platter.
You get, and they're coming.
Right?
That's makes it up.
So
for it.
I will say the taco trio for mine, but those flatbreads at Pinocchio's they
are awful,
almost edible. But
yeah. I mean, if you need help, you could go with Sleepy Hollow for the breakfast for the fruit waffle sandwich.
Right, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure how much of a snack versus meal. And they do have their chicken one too.
If you catch the cast member at the right time, it is definitely a meal.
Yeah,
I haven't figured out what that time is because it's with
changes.
All the I can't. Sorry, audience, I can't help you with that. I don't know the answer.
No, sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's not. And so the fajitas and the tacos are solid. The chicken, the fish, solid. Hashtag bring back the pot pies though. But
yeah, sorry, I've been lobbying for the pot pies, and every so often I hear a report about it. I've even told you guys, and all of a sudden it's a false report, and I'm like, really?
Fake news.
It can't be chicken, man.
Michelle's going to be mad.
send some of those cast members to Costco, get all the chickens that they have, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, if we struggled with counter service at the Magic Kingdom,
I don't want to go first.
Let's table service this. John, where are you headed?
Okay, believe it or not, I am totally cheating on this one. But I am going to go to Skipper's Canteen with that long name. I can never remember what it is.
I don't know that that's cheating. It's
a sit down.
Well, wait, hold on.
I was ready for a monorail resort there. Cheating.
You haven't told you what I'm getting yet. Same thing I tell everybody to do. Go to Skipper's Canteen and get appetizers and a dessert.
Mm.
So get the Falls family falafel, which is far better than you would expect it to be, and the cachapas, which is the corn pancake, beer raised pork, raised corn, pepper, and then get the African inspired chocolate cake. It's good.
I'll have to
and the price point is high, but not Disney high.
Mm-hmm. That's not a bad thing. Remember, you can get appetizers. That's a really good tip for lots of places. If there's 2 of you or 4 of you, share all the appetizers, right? Skipper Canteen also has a couple hidden menu items.
Yeah, I didn't want to go into those because
it's tricky. And so, like, your server usually just tells you, like, we have these other 2 items. I don't know why we can't put them on the list, and so they have, like, dough balls that are really good, and they've had it for a long time. So it's like, just put it on the menu, Disney. So that's one thing to think about there, too. And that's another appetizer that's filling and really good to share. That's a great idea. That's not cheating at all. That's genius.
In your instructions, because I am a I am a clergy member and a type A personality. I follow the rules. That's cheating for me, but you're welcome to that.
Well, my rules kind of run loose and wild.
Yes, I know.
When I think of Doug McKnight, I think of loose and wild every time. Yes. Crazy Doug.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for doing that, so I didn't say anything inappropriate.
Only after one leprechaun, Derek.
Oh my gosh! Cannot wait till you have some of those on the 50th. So moving on to my.
Come down early.
There we go. Moving on to mine. I am not sparing any expense on this one, man. I'm going all in. I'm going 2 credit meals. I'm going into the castle to eat with Cinderella, and I'm getting the Cinderella's tenderloin with Brussels sprouts.
It's just none of it's good enough, so you're just gonna go all in.
All in. Actually, that meal is phenomenal. Right? It's like $1,000.
Not a bad strategy. No. If you're like someone says we have to sit down and eat at Magic Kingdom. Well, okay, you obviously money is no object, so just go for it.
And that's, you said my favorite, and that was one of the best meals I've ever had at Magic Kingdom. I threw up when I looked at the price tag, but it was great food as I was eating it. And
I will warn you, I know there's a new review coming out by one of my colleagues on that restaurant.
I've heard the preview of that review.
Okay, that's all I want to say about it.
I know, I've heard it. It went downhill. So I'm living on what I remember.
Right. I've seen the draft on our little thing that I'm going to get in trouble for mentioning, but that's all I'm saying.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that's to me now. So I went with it tastes like chicken because it is. Yep. From Skipper's Canteen. It's basically sweet and sour chicken without saying it's sweet and sour chicken. They just describe all the ingredients that go into sweet and sour chicken, and it's sweet and sour chicken with a big chunk of chicken. It's good. It's nothing that I'm going to write home about and say you have to come enjoy this amazing meal at the Magic Kingdom, but it fills you up and it's better than Tony's. And
hold on, better than Tony's is like better than Cosmic Ray Basic Burger. You're not helping.
So I have an ADR for Tony's in November, and I told my wife,
I don't know why.
She goes, please don't. Just do it with Doug sometime, or do it by yourself. I don't need to go there.
You're going to Universal, where you could go to Vivo's, and then you're picking Tony for your ADR?
It's the only restaurant I haven't eaten at in the Magic Kingdom. I just want to get it done. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
Is this a checklist?
Checklist. It's not a bucket list. It's just a checklist. I just got to. And you know what? I'm going to cancel that ADR.
You two stressed me out with the checklist thing. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, some of the other comments I got were hilarious with the checklist bucket list show. So, yes.
Okay, sorry.
You're
going to put your whole family through Tony's.
No, I'm going to end up canceling it because I already showed the menu to my kids and they're just like, we're good. And I'm like, okay, but I at least grabbed an ADR. So that's close. That's like
it's because they're available.
Yeah.
Can you if you get one item, does that fulfill your checklist?
Yep. I might literally go in by myself. I'll take the 3-year-old. Me and the 3-year-old will go and eat.
Do a kids meal spaghetti and breadstick.
There we go. Get it done.
Because I can respect the checklist madness, but trust me, I'm a food blogger. There's a lot of bad food I've eaten.
Yeah, I've heard rumors.
Don't need to die on this hill.
Okay.
All right, so there's the Magic Kingdom. Hopefully that's as exciting as everybody thought. Let's move over on Disney Springs, where there's lots of choices, and we're going to start with counter service at Disney Springs. John, what do you enjoy there?
I have so many choices here. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to go with Polite Pig.
Oh, you took mine. Okay,
let's see. Hold on to see if you're as ravenous as me, and if you don't get the ravenous joke, then I'll have to educate you later, because Polite Pig's third party of Ravenous Pig that's in the local area. If it's my favorite item, I'm going with the butcher board. It's like a charcuterie board for barbecue people. It's pork, chicken, brisket, cheddar, sausage, pickles, cornbread, and 2 sides. And believe it or not, somehow, through the magic of fat and sugar, they make beets, cauliflower, and there was another, Brussels sprouts, something I would never eat normally, tastes good.
Interesting. That
now,
whole
I believe
description.
I probably gained 3 pounds eating those vegetables.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, but there's nothing bad at Polite Pig.
I agree. We have different things, so yay.
Okay, we're good. Okay.
Yep, I'm getting the beef brisket sandwich. It's got jalapenos and onion straws, and it's got the juice, the sauce. It's one of the best things I've ever eaten. It was phenomenal, and maybe I was really hungry, but no, it was good, and I only had heartburn for about 3 hours afterwards.
I have heartburn just listening to it.
Holy crap, it was phenomenal, though, Doug.
You won't get heartburn from mine, but you would get it from that.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, and I'll pick on Doug for a second. Even people with normal dietary issues would get heartburn from what Derek picked.
Okay. Yeah, I'm never touching that. I would not sleep for like 2
days.
You
would not live.
No. So I really love pizza. So I'm headed to Blaze. I know I can get it here in Nebraska, but I like it. Get my sausage and mushroom pizza and sit down and devour it. It's simple and it's tasty. And that's all there is to my counter service choice.
I do love Blaze Pizza, but I usually try to get it on the way to the airport.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, all right.
I do need to honorable mention for a second because I know you guys haven't gone.
I got to do one honorable mention too, but
no,
okay.
Go ahead. You go ahead. Then.
I was going to say my wife's favorite, the spring daily, or for the Disney Springs is the daily poutine. You just get poutine. It's phenomenal every time. It wrecks my stomach.
Had to get the Canadian dish in there, didn't you?
I did. Yep, had to.
Did. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Since where I had my wedding reception, we could see Canada. I can respect that. Okay, but I picked on you guys for this. You haven't been to Everglades.
No, we haven't. I need more donuts in my life, so.
The problem with Everglades is it's hard to get to Disney Spring for breakfast, but it's worth your time as long as you don't have sticker shock for a $6.50 donut.
Oh,
there's no donut that gives me sticker shock.
Oh, okay.
I love donuts. I eat donuts for breakfast all the time.
You do? Yep. He gets some.
Yeah, but you eat those Hostess powdered in the bag things.
That can survive a nuclear war. That somehow I don't know what's in them.
You gotta have your go-to, and they get me by. But Everglades is definitely on my checklist for sure.
I even know the suppliers around the Orlando area for all the donut places in Disney Universal. I know my donuts.
Excellent. All right. I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay.
All right, let's head to the tables, and the table service, even more options here.
Way too many
John,
options.
where are you going for one dish?
I have too many choices, but I'm going to be tried and true for something that I can't get the equivalent of a Universal. I am going to get the fried chicken and donuts from Homecoming, Art Smith's Homecoming.
I want to get to that restaurant so bad.
Something magical happens with the chicken there. Once again, I'm going to imply that perhaps there's some illegal substances, some crack cocaine on the chicken. I don't know. But something just happens there. I mean, you could just get the basic chicken sandwich, and it's just amazing. And also, Homecoming and Splitsville, which are owned by the same company, they have refill drink programs where you purchase your bottle and you can go back in and get refills for almost nothing. So that's important to remember when you find yourself at Disney Springs.
Interesting.
And don't want to spend $5 for a beverage.
That's a good tip. All right. I'm just going to go real quick, Derek, because mine is the exact same thing. I have a ABCD, but it's not even worth it. Like the gap between Homecoming and everything else for my palate it's large, it's cavernous. So I'm the chicken and donuts, and whoever said I could have donuts at dinner with my chicken, I love them because I love donuts and I love the chicken. So I might have picked fried chicken twice on my list tonight, but that's
Are you getting the hummingbird cake to finish it out?
Yeah, that's a must. Yes, the hummingbird cake is fantastic.
I know I'm cheating, but I just want to make sure we do this right.
Yeah, that's really good. You can't not get that. It's so sweet.
And there's a reason every celebrity that's Art Smith as their chef gains 20, 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
But they're happy about it.
Very happy.
Yeah.
All right, Derek. Where are you going?
This is painful because I only go to Disney Springs with kids.
Do not say.
I've gone to Planet Hollywood's terrible. Rainforest Cafe's terrible.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
So I'm going to T-Rex Cafe because I probably have my kids with me.
I have even mocked one of the T-Rex via Twitter and sent a photo from outside of there. Are you serious?
There's other places I want to go. I really do. And I haven't been, I've been to a couple when I was a kid. I've been to the boathouse, but I can't remember it.
Let me be the voice of reason for a second. Do you have a good entree at T-Rex?
I have an entree at T-Rex. The Boneyard Buffet, the rotisserie chicken, and the ribs. It's an entree.
You don't have
Nope.
Okay, that's what I want to
know. But you know what? The thing I do love about it is my kids are enthralled. They love the restaurant. I have now lost track at how many times we've gone there. Hopefully now that my daughter's 10, we will move our palates to more elegant dining because there's
over to Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, we've done Rainforest. No, they've grown out of that. Thank goodness. Okay. And Planet Hollywood was one of the worst meals I've ever had in my life. So I steer clear of that as fast as I can. So, but yes, I do. My wife and I have talked. We want to go just us, away from the kids and the kids' restaurants, and explore Disney Springs.
Okay, if you read my blogs or you get bored and need to sleep and listen to me talk in other places, I tell people there are so many good options at Disney Springs. Don't waste your time on bad food. Derek, you're hurting me.
I'm sorry. I'm a dad, so I do it. I listen to my kids, and that's what they always want to do.
I don't think I've ever listened to my children.
There you go. Well,
and this is why I say in sermons when I'm preaching about parenting, I know many of you are far better parents than me and do a lot more for your children than I did. This is a why, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I've been there. I've been there once in Florida. I've done it.
You know what I can say? I have never been to T-Rex. I've been to Rainforest Cafe way too many times, so feel free to make fun for that.
Same place, right? And I've been to T-Rex in Kansas City multiple times, so I feel like that covers it.
I do remember having a really good meal at Raglan Road, and I can't remember what it is. Like, I remember that. I was 21, 22.
Anything
I had something really good there.
That place is good.
And I was like, okay, that's the one. Yes, but it's been so long, 15 years since I've been there, that I can't remember the dish.
All right, let's move down the interstate. Let's head to Universal. Let's go to John's stomping grounds, so to speak, and you guys can educate me on the food that we should be getting. Let's start with our table service. And John, you can pick the park. Which park?
I'm going to go with the OG with Universal Studios Florida in the battle against Always MGM in opening. You got lots of choices. It depends on what you're looking for. I'm a muggle, so I tend to downgrade the Wizarding World things, just so that you know. I'm not even a fan of butterbeer, so just so you have perspective. Yeah, just so you know. I do like we'll get to snacks later. I like my butterbeer in ice cream form. I would go with the Bulls or Bear or the Carnegie sandwich at Today Cafe when they changed the Today Cafe in there.
Yeah, that's newer. That opened, 2 years ago?
Yeah, they dramatically improved it. I mean, if you're reading my blog, I tell people this on a regular basis. If it's a restaurant that has changed menu or is new at Universal, it's good. They have not made any failures in their changes in the last 5 or 6 years. Now, if you're going to go to Burger Digs is the equivalent of Cosmic Rays.
Oh, I actually have that on my list as one of the worst burgers I've ever had.
Yes,
don't go to Burger Digs.
It's one of the equivalents.
Yep.
But if you're trying to stay, and not that those sandwiches are expensive, I think they're $13 and they come with potato salad. You could also go with arguably the best tacos in the area, in the Orlando area theme parks. Bumblebee Man's Taco Truck in Springfield. Get the Korean beef tacos. They're $11.
Nice.
I had to look that up because I have an annual pass with 15% discount, so I never know what it really costs. So,
yeah.
But if you really need to go to the Wizarding World, you go to the Leaky Cauldron, and you go with the fish and chips or the fisherman pie or Scotch eggs, and those. It's good. I just feel that the price is a little bit high and you're paying for the atmosphere, which is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I got the Leaky Cauldron on my list.
Yep.
The cottage pie was phenomenal there.
Is that your choice
I prefer
there,
the
Derek?
fisherman over cottage, but you're correct. The cottage is good.
Yes. So, hey, I got something correct again, Leaky Cauldron. Plus the atmosphere, if you're anywhere a Harry Potter fan, it is phenomenal, and it's a must-do at least once.
And fair warning for those of you who mostly go to Disney, you may not like Disney's mobile ordering system, but Disney's mobile ordering food system is, how do I say this nicely, 400 times better than Universal's. Universal eliminated mobile ordering because it was so bad, and they've brought it back. You still can't mobile order Leaky Cauldron, so don't try that.
Okay.
Man, so is that what you're saying there, Derek?
Yeah.
Leaky Cauldron.
Leaky Cauldron was phenomenal.
I like the chicken and waffles. I have mentioned fried chicken a time or two. So it's in the Springfield. Mm-hmm. It's like all the restaurants together, right? And
Fast Food Boulevard.
Yeah. What's in the Chicken Shack? No. What's it called?
I think it is the Chicken Shack. Why am I blanking on this right now in my world?
Because I confused you.
That's embarrassing. But I believe it's the Chicken Shack. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I have enjoyed there. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I have 2 daughters that would throw something at me right now if they were awake, but they are not, so they cannot throw things at me. They'll yell at me later.
Yes.
Who am I kidding? They're not going to listen. I can say whatever I want.
But they're going to be concerned that the Universal food blogger is a muggle and doesn't like the Wizarding World. That's going to throw them off. You'll be safe.
Yeah, they're confused right now. Yeah. So, all right, table service in that park.
I kind of want to be bad and throw Derek under the bus and say, what are you going to do? Because the choice is this is where Disney beats Universal. This is the clear win. Mm-hmm. Universal beats Disney in a lot of other things regarding food now. There are only 2 table service places, or they call them full service because they have to be different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to change terms.
And you have only one legitimate choice, which you got to go to Finnegan's. Your safe choice is the web burger because they have an appetizer. This is a combination of onions that's put in a web, and it's tasty and it's terrible for you, but it's awesome. So then to make it worse, they slap it on top of a burger, and you think it wouldn't be good. Oh, it's fabulous. The other thing you can get there, and I got the Beyond Burger, the Beyond version because I'm doing a lot of vegetarian articles. The Beyond Burger Shepherd's Pie may be one of the best sit-down things I've had for under $20 at any theme park ever.
Under $20. That's pretty impressive.
I think it was 17.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Derek, do you have anything for?
I've been to Finnegan's, but no. Here's what I'm doing because I can do this because I make up my new rule. You leave the park, you go to the best place on the planet. You go to Margaritaville.
We'll get to City Walk in a moment.
Oh, come on.
I thought we're doing City Walk.
I know,
we're doing
but
City Walk.
We're doing City Walk. Got
pump
it.
The brakes.
I'm pumping the brakes. Anyway.
All right, let's go to Islands of Adventure.
Playing along, that is the correct choice. If you've not been to Universal, for this audience, if you've been to Disneyland where you kind of visualize the 2 parks fairly close together, Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida are closer together, and there's more food options. You literally, unless you're staying at the premier hotels, you literally have to walk through City Walk to get to the parks.
Yeah, it's right there.
So you can't miss it.
All right, let's go to Islands of Adventure. Let's do some table or counter service there. There's we still have Harry Potter options, but what else?
No, just so we get the terms right, so I can be on. They have to call it quick service. No, they call it. Yeah, it's quick service. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which it's not, but that's a different conversation. Universal struggles with food getting out.
Well, if we're not consistent with anything, it's our consistency of incorrect terminology that we're.
Well, I've tried really hard not to mix cast member and team member and all that, so I'm struggling.
That's a good one.
This is not even a contest on quick service. You have 3 good choices at Island Adventure. Your best choice is Thunder Falls Terrace, which is right outside the splash zone of the Jurassic Park River Adventure. You can eat and look and watch people get not soaked but wet because it's not Toon Lagoon with those water rides where you will not leave with an inch of your body dry. And Thunder Falls, there's really nothing bad on the menu. I get the rice bowl. And shockingly enough, there's an incredible amount of flavor. You can get it with chicken. You can get the vegetarian version. It has plantains on it. It's $16, and it's back to other conversation. It's definitely filling. Your other good choice, because I would not recommend a burger in the park. Wimpy's Burger is really good, but you could walk to Hard Rock Cafe. So why do that? Is green eggs and ham. They changed the menu finally. To a tots menu, a covered tots menu, and it's far better than the Disney version. And I'm obsessed with the pizza tots. Pizza tots get in almost every article I write.
Pizza tots. That sounds like something I'd enjoy.
It's sausage, pepperoni, and the marinara sauce covered on tots. And somehow at Disney you can call them Universal, you can call them tater tots, not potato barrels. I don't get that, but if you guys would help me, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, it's somebody has to pay somebody to call it something.
Yes.
Like Disney doesn't want to give free advertising to Tater Tots because everybody knows Tater Tots is the brand name that's making all the bank.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But that menu item, which is filling, and if you have little kids, you can have them share it and they'll be happy about it. I've seen it done many times. Is only $10 at Green Eggs and Ham.
All right. Derek, do you have anything?
I do. 3 broomsticks. Once again, staying in Harry Potter, because if you're a fan and you're like my family, well, that's pretty much where we're going to eat.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really enjoyed there that blew my mind, that is very unique, is the English breakfast, which something you don't ever get. And egg, sausage, of course, but also they have beans with breakfast. And
mushy peas?
No, it's just beans,
no mushy
like
peas.
no pushy
Okay,
peas,
beans,
and interesting.
yeah.
And I was like, I got it on a whim because I was like, I've never had a traditional English breakfast, and I was like, oh, it's very different and unique, and so and I felt like it was priced all right. And then I know for lunch the fish. Fried fish and chips. Am I right? Is that what they have?
It's fish and chips. Yes.
There you go. That's what they. Yep. And so
but I think the price point's a little bit high, which is why Yorkshire won in the contest.
There you go. So a couple things. Yeah, that's where we'll be eating.
But that any breakfast thing you get at Leaky Cauldron or 3 Broomsticks comes. It's built into the price. You get a small beverage. So if you want to save money on butterbeer, that I hear is now $8.50. I'm not sure how that is because I remember paying $4 back in the Stone Age. It comes with a small beverage, and you can get a small butterbeer to satisfy that. And the breakfast is $17, I think, which seems high. But if you get a small butterbeer, that's not too bad.
No. But I get a dragon scale beer, for the record, because that's amazing.
Do be careful that technically at Leaky Cauldron and 3 Broomsticks for breakfast, they sell packages where the hotel guests with the packages get a reservation for breakfast, and on very busy times, the reservation for breakfast will be full and you can't walk in. But you're not going during Christmas, you're not going during spring break, so you should be fine.
Excellent. I have nothing. So I just drink butterbeer and call it a day at that park. And then I leave and I go to City Walk.
At least you don't get LeFou's brew, so that'll be fine.
Well, that's because it would kill me.
Yes.
So it's got the mango fluff on it. Ugh. So never had it because I can't. So, but I leave. I go to City Walk. So
we haven't gotten to City Walk. We still gotta wait. Got to sit down yet.
We gotta do. All right, let's just sit down.
We have like one restaurant there.
I'm gonna ask Derek of the 2 choices. Which are you going?
I've been to Mythos a few times, and I've never been impressed. For being the best theme park restaurant, like 19 years in a row, I have been unimpressed with that place. I'm like, who's judging this? But I've had the beef medallions there.
Judging it.
And just
beef medallions, they're 28. They're actually not bad.
They're not bad, but it's not the best I've ever had.
Correct.
Like that's that, and they have that
build up is what hurts it.
It really does, and
it kills it.
It does.
If you didn't have that big sign that they're so proud of because they put a new sign out to say it, and you just said this is the best table service value in the Orlando area, you might be able to sell that.
That's different, yes.
Because the beef medallions, the equivalent over at Disney is about 48. So you could sell it, but when you're selling it as this is going to be Boma or this is going to be California
Exactly.
Grill.
That's why this restaurant drives me nuts every time I've gone there.
Not even fair. But I can go to Mythos, which we just did recently, and I can order most things that I will get with my annual pass discount. I get that. And I stay under $20 for a really good sit-down meal. But don't tell me it's the best place on the planet when I can name 15 places at Disney World at the resorts that are easily better. Now, granted, they might cost me 3 times as much. So I cut you off, Derek, but I just wanted to say that you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, I win again.
Way overhyped.
You're doing good, Derek.
I am
good.
Passing all John's tests.
Yeah. So what
entree you going to go with, Derek?
I still went with the beef medallions. It's
okay.
Yep.
No, it's a good choice. The beef medallions quality is good. When there was the shutdown and Universal was open and Disney wasn't, and the Disney vloggers didn't know what to do, they all came over to test out this restaurant they heard about, and they said the same thing I just told you.
Yep.
The beef medallions are probably equal quality to what you would get over at the Epcot comparison restaurant for $20 less.
Mm-hmm.
I You really kind of have to go with Mythos, but I would pick the lamb burger, which is like $18, or the pad thai without the protein, which is under 20, or what is it, fork, spoon, and knife grilled cheese, where they take a grilled cheese and they pork belly and they dip it in the soup. They raised the price on all of these recently, so I'm a little thrown off. I think it's $16 now. I have a review. I'm working on that, but if they were to say at Mythos, we have the best value you can find on a sit-down restaurant in a theme park, they could be right. But to say it's the best food,
they list all the years
yes.
on the sign, it's ridiculous. It
ridiculous.
Upsets me.
Yes, and just so you know, the universal hawk here is agreeing with everything you just said. You're absolutely true. I did another podcast and we were doing best restaurants in Island Adventure, and we were listing all of them. We were doing it as a March Madness thing, and Mythos lost, I think, in the quarterfinals because it gets overhyped.
Yep.
I mean, it's good, but if you ignore the banner, you'd be like, man, this is a really good meal. But the banner makes you think, I'm walking into Le Cellier for a steak. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know I'm paying too much there, but at least I know it.
Okay. Is it time for City Walk now?
It is time for City Walk. We're sorry we threw you off.
Okay, good. I'm hungry.
Okay, tell me your Margaritaville story, Derek.
Well, we go to Margaritaville. It's our favorite place. We go to anywhere there's a Margaritaville nearby. But Universal Orlando is our favorite. Honeymoon there. Gone there multiple times. My parents were always big Margaritaville fans. So when we went through a Universal phase when I was in my teenage years, so we went quite a bit. But what you get is the Margaritaville volcano nachos and a good fruity rum drink.
He is correct. We have a winner.
And those things are phenomenal, and it's a big appetizer. It'll fill up, like, my wife and I will split those, and we won't even be able to finish them. But, I mean, you do have a couple margaritas with it. But, yeah, I love that. And that's all you have to do. Get fruity rum drinks and some nachos, and that's it. You're done.
It's not a cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato.
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Blah, blah.
I've actually gotten that there.
The cheeseburger in Paradise is not bad, but I remember writing a budget article one time, and I said, if you want to, because it was a very low budget article, I said, if you want to splurge, take your family and just get the volcano nachos at Margaritaville. You can probably do that for under $20, and no one will leave hungry.
My wife and I have a great picture. I'll have to look for it where we have the camera low, so the nachos look massive, yes. And we're just hovering over them. So, yeah.
I have a photo like that. I look like a little kid on Christmas morning.
Excellent. That would be my choice too. I love Margaritaville. So,
but the best part about Margaritaville is you can walk out of Islands of Adventure if it's busy in there. Walk out, walk not very far, cross this little bridge, turn right. There's Margaritaville. Walk in, sit on the patio, sit outside. There might be live music, even if you just get the club sandwich, which is I think $14, $15, and then walk back in the park. You have had the Jon Self equivalent to the Doug nap.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it sounds very relaxing. Sometimes that's what a nap is.
Yes.
It's just relax. You're napping your mind while you're enjoying a meal and some music.
Yeah. We did technically, because I wanted to hear the Derek story, we did skip counter service in City Walk, which is a weakness at City Walk, by the way.
So there's not a whole lot. Is there? What is the best option? Well, donuts.
You got to mention Voodoo Donut because it's Voodoo Donut. Your quick service choices by Universal's definition are bread box, which is good. I feel it's an improvement over Earl of Sandwich, but the price point is a little higher than Earl of Sandwich, so that hurts me. Or you can go to Hot Dog Hall of Fame, which I'm really going to hurt the Disney audience. I'm going to lower your ratings here for a second. If you order the right thing, it might be better than some quick service place in Magic Kingdom that sells hot dogs.
I don't have a problem.
Neither of those I'm going to support anyway. So there you go. I hate those hot dogs.
But I want to be clear. You don't go to City Walk for quick service. Now they have a food court upstairs with Moe's and Burger King and Panda Express. Please don't do that to yourself.
No.
Please.
Why would you do that?
And they have a Ben the Bao bun place. It's actually not bad, but it's a little pricey, and you could just walk outside of Universal and find a better place. Not that I know where it is. But yeah.
So let's just go table service. What's your meal you're getting table service? You got to pick one. Where you going?
I got asked this on doing a stream with someone, and I got caught off guard of you can only pick one place, and I would go with Vivo because Vivo is equal to every Italian place at Walt Disney World at a lower price point. Literally, Disney bloggers have said, is there an Italian, because this is really sexist, is there an Italian grandmother back there making this pasta? I mean, they hand make it, it's well done, and generally the recommendation is get this, it sounds gross, but it's good. The squid ink seafood comes with shrimp, clams, mussels, calamari, white wine, basil, and black spaghetti for $23. And it's a bowl. It's sizable. And I always recommend, the reason Via Napoli didn't make the cut for my Epcot is I can get a comparable pizza at Vivo for under $17. Can't do that at Viva Napoli. It's not as good as Via Napoli. Don't misunderstand me, but it's also
double
about half the price.
Yeah.
You got to give an honorable mention here with the croque monsieur or the may contain bacon burger. And I had the brisket and wild mushroom meatloaf. What was that? Saturday? Yeah. It was really, really good. And it was look up the price here. It was $19. And they have brunch all day because my wife got the patty melt French toast, which sounds disgusting. It was good. It was like $14. And she couldn't finish it.
Lots of good options in City Walk.
Yeah, I also like the Hard Rock Cafe.
Hard Rock Cafe is your safe place to go if you need to take a group.
So much better than Planet Hollywood, Derek.
I know it is. I agree.
That's not even a contest,
right?
Because I'm actually looking forward to my birthday reward next week at Hard Rock because I get a free entree.
Ooh, we're staying at the Hard Rock in November, so it'll be fun to get back there.
You have the kitchen. That's a whole different podcast. We can do that a different time.
All
right. Well, I think we've covered it, which means
I think we have somehow. A miracle has happened.
Yes, which means it is time for
the lightning round.
All right, John, this is where we ask you about your favorite Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, whatever you need to do to answer the question. We're going to start with favorite movie. Are you ready?
Okay, just to clarify, I did not hear the words. And the points do not count.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't.
It depends on the answers
as we go.
I apologize once again for knowing the script here. I was mouthing as you were reading it. Okay.
All right. Favorite movie.
Those of you listening on the podcast, they can see me, so they should be able to answer this one pretty quickly. My favorite movie is Black Panther.
Wakanda Forever.
It's a very nice sweatshirt.
And trust me, I waited till the sweatshirt went below $25 and scooped it up immediately. And so you're gonna ask me about character?
Yep, favorite character.
Can you guess?
T'Challa.
T'Challa.
Sounds like a good guess, yeah.
Which hurts me a little bit with Chadwick Boseman, but that's okay.
Yes. All right, favorite Disney villain.
Shocking, staying with the trend, even though they ruined him in the movie, he was great in the comics. Ultron.
Okay.
All right. Have you watched any of the What If series?
Yes, I'm struggling with that as someone who was a not very good tennis pro and waited out a lot of rain delays as a child reading comic books. I'm struggling with some of their What Ifs, but some of the plots are directly from the What If comics.
Okay. All right. Favorite Disney song?
Okay, just to make your audience back, because I think I only know Marvel. Shockingly enough, it's Circle of Life.
It's a quality one.
Yeah, great one.
You're scoring all kinds of points. All right. Favorite Disney park?
And I do like the way you've now changed it to Disney Park. Sorry, for those of you who have notes, it says park. So I was going to make fun of that. Good choice. Just to give a shout out to other people, I am going with Always MGM.
Nice. Always MGM. The classic MGM.
Bring back the water tower.
Yes.
Favorite classic attraction you define classic?
I'm going to cheat and mention two, and you will see why. I have a slight win of Tower of Terror over Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Both
allow that cheating. Yeah. All right. Favorite modern attraction you define modern?
I'm not sure anyone is allowed to make any other choice currently. It's Rise of Resistance, if you can get on the attraction.
mean, you just got to stand in line. Now, Derek would argue
it's a great attraction,
but
I still like Millennium Falcon if you know everyone there. If you know all six.
If you know all six, Millennium Falcon can be a really good attraction.
Exactly.
Chewbacca mode.
If you can get Chewie mode to work.
Pretty amazing.
Yes.
All right. Favorite resort?
I think I've said this one time. I think Derek made fun of me for being old school. I call it Dixie Landings because that's where I went on my honeymoon with my wife. For those of you unaware, that's Port Orleans, Riverside now? Yeah, Riverside.
Yep, Riverside.
Yep. All right. And then favorite counter service?
Ronto Roasters.
Yeah, all in on those.
I am all in.
Like them all. You're all in. All right. Favorite table service?
We've already covered this. Yak and Yeti.
Okay. And then most important question, favorite snack?
I'm not allowed to pick Butterbeer ice cream?
No,
I mean, you can.
I
mean, yeah, whatever.
But I'm a Mickey Pretzel guy. Sorry.
Oh, yay. Okay. Point, Derek.
I knew I was going to anger one of you.
That's all right. I'm way ahead. All right. Favorite Disney drink?
This is nostalgia because when we used to go to Disney all the time for Illuminations at Epcot, my wife would always get me a root beer float. And so that's my favorite drink.
Oh, nice.
Nice. All right. And then a Disney bucket list item.
I had to think about this for a nanosecond. Someone to pay for me to go to Disney Sea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I really want to go there for lots of reasons. I need a translator. I need all the things. But that theme park looks amazing is what I'm
Someday we just need to do a group trip, Doug.
Right?
Yep. Get a whole bunch of us to go.
Be
Try
fun.
to get a discount. I have no idea.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll work on it on my end, but I'm pretty low on the Touring Plans staff, so it's going to be a while till I get to go.
Okay.
All right. Well, that concludes the lightning round.
Well, thank you, Jon, for coming on this week's episode and sharing your thoughts and opinions on all the best dining. But now you get to take a second and tell people where they can find you.
Easiest way to find me, even though I'm a 50-something-year-old man with gray hair, is on Twitter at Pastor Jon Self. My name is spelled Jon for John because H's are O. If you're a universal person, you get that joke.
I do. I get it.
And my real job, I work as a pastor at First Baptist Church in Macomb here in Illinois, where Western University is. And currently, this changes often. I write for TouringPlans.com on their blog, Pirates and Princesses, Universal Food Blog, and Universal Family Vacations.
Whole lot of things.
I hear that Touring Plans has a travel agency.
That's the rumor.
I've heard that. I feel I'm obligated to say that on this show.
That's true.
So that Lynn doesn't have my checks cut off.
There you go. Well, I will definitely tag your Twitter, and then if you ever have a blog or anything, we'll absolutely share that on our social media accounts. But we need to get on to the Patreon show. So if you want to hear more, you'll have to click that in the show notes as well. But first, Jon, thank you so much for joining us this week on Rope Drop Radio.
Thank you for adding me on the bottom of your prestigious guests ever to have on your show. Thank you.
Thank you. And then if you want to book a trip to try any of these amazing dishes, you're going to have to talk to Michelle McKnight. She is a destination specialist with Touring Plans, and you can find her email in the show notes, and she would love to help you book a magical vacation. And maybe, Jon, you can talk to her about Tokyo. Just saying, throwing that out there, might happen. But anyway,
I'm paying for college right now.
Yeah, okay, give it a few more years, and when you start saving that up. So we're going to get to the Patreon, but thank you guys so much. Be sure to log on to social media and follow Doug's trip around the 50th, and stay tuned for next week's episode when we cover all of that. But for Jon and Doug, I'm Derek. You've been listening to Rope Drop Radio.